Not all neighbors are friendly. Some are parasites in designer sunglasses. When the HOA president started secretly plugging her Tesla into my garage outlet, I thought it was a one-time mistake. Then my power bill doubled, my charger burned out, and her smug smile said everything. 2 days later, karma lit her up instead. After my divorce, I wanted quiet, the kind you only find in a small, neatly trimmed HOA suburb. I bought a modern 2-story house with a clean white garage, solar panels, and a home office where I coded for a living. My pride was my EV charger, a sleek setup connected directly to my smart grid system. I loved how everything ran efficiently, perfectly. Every morning, I brewed coffee, opened my laptop, and watched the neighborhood hum like clockwork. Retirees walking their dogs, lawnmowers buzzing in the distance, sprinklers whispering across green lawns. It was peaceful, predictable, the kind of place where rules kept life simple. Or so I thought. Because hidden behind those smiling neighbors was one woman who treated rules like weapons. Her name was Patricia Wilkins, HOA president, self-proclaimed defender of community harmony. She was the type who smelled like expensive perfume and superiority. The first time I met her, she welcomed me with a clipboard in hand. "Just making sure you know about the regulations," she said, eyeing my freshly painted fence. "Color must match HOA palette, page 12. I smiled politely, trying not to roll my eyes. That was Patricia's way. Smile like sunshine, sting like vinegar. She'd walk the neighborhood every morning in her tennis outfit, pretending to pick up trash but really checking who violated which rule. She once fined my neighbor for leaving his trash bins out 2 minutes past pickup. I didn't think much of it then. But when I caught her staring at my garage late one evening, clipboard pressed to her chest, something in her smile felt off, like she was measuring opportunity. It started small. My power bill jumped a little. I blamed the summer heat and longer AC hours. But then the spike doubled the next month. I opened my power app. Usage between midnight and 3 a.m. had exploded. That was odd. I was asleep then. One night, I heard faint clicking from the garage. I peeked through the blinds. Patricia's white Tesla Model S sat parked in my driveway, an orange extension cord running straight from my outlet. I stormed outside, half asleep but furious. "Patricia, what the hell?" She startled, clutching the cord like a thief caught red-handed. "Oh, Mike, power went out at my place. Just needed a little charge to get to work." "Emergency, you understand. I didn't buy it." But she was the HOA president. Everyone feared crossing her. The next day, I found an HOA notice in my mailbox. Residents are encouraged to support community sustainability through shared resources. Shared? My electricity wasn't community property. Within days, I found new extension cords tangled near my outlet. Sometimes unplugged, sometimes still warm. Patricia had turned my garage into her personal charging station, and the HOA backed her up. A week later, my EV charger failed mid-charge. The display, blinked overload detected. My car refused to start, repair estimate, $2,000. That night, Patricia's Tesla wasn't on her driveway. I knew exactly where it was. I marched to her house, but she smiled from behind her door like nothing happened. "I have no idea what you're talking about," she said sweetly. "Maybe your system isn't compatible with HOA voltage standards. You should read the manual." The next day, I received another violation notice, improper electrical configuration visible from the street. That was her move, attack before being accused. When I showed the HOA board photos of her car near my outlet, she spun a story about me harassing her. The board sided with her, of course. That's when I stopped arguing and started planning. Because when logic fails, evidence speaks louder than words. My neighbor Tom, a retired electrician, had dealt with Patricia's nonsense before. When I told him what happened, he shook his head. "She's been tapping outdoor circuits for years," he muttered. "Let's get you some proof." Together we installed a smart power logger, a hidden sensor inside the outlet box that recorded every surge and power draw. I also set up a motion-activated camera disguised as a wall plug. Within 2 nights, we caught her. Clear as day, Patricia sneaking over in her robe at 1:47 a.m., plugging her Tesla in. We also uncovered HOA meeting notes forged by her, approving temporary charging access for executive members. The only executive, Patricia. Tom traced unusual load readings back to her home circuit. She'd even modified her main panel to avoid her own meter tracking the stolen electricity. With help from my college friend Marco, a cybersecurity specialist, we documented everything: timestamps, voltage records, and footage. When we compared her Tesla's VIN charging logs to my power data, they aligned perfectly. Every kilowatt stolen left a digital fingerprint. Now we had the proof. But I didn't want a lawsuit. I wanted her to feel what it's like to lose control, without me breaking a single law. My revenge wasn't going to be violent. It was going to be poetic. I designed a smart surge relay, a harmless prototype I'd built years ago to protect my gear from unstable currents. When triggered remotely, it cut power for a split second, just enough to trip sensitive electronics, like a Tesla's onboard charger. Tom helped install it in my outlet box, concealed beneath the cover plate. Then I waited. The following night, her Tesla appeared again, sleek and silent. She plugged in, certain I was asleep. The logger activated automatically. From my phone, I triggered the relay. A pop echoed faintly from the garage, followed by a low whine as her car's charging lights flickered red. The Tesla shut down completely. Battery management system locked. Repair cost? Around $12,000. I didn't gloat. I just unplugged the cord in the morning and left it coiled neatly on her driveway with a note: "Your power trip's over." Patricia stormed to my door at sunrise, waving a repair estimate and threats of legal action. "You sabotaged my car," she screamed. "Or maybe," I said calmly, showing her a still from the camera footage, "you sabotage yourself." I emailed the entire folder, proof of theft, forged HOA memos and video, to every HOA member. Within hours, board phones exploded with outrage. The electric company opened an investigation for energy theft. Patricia's insurance refused coverage, citing unauthorized charging. By evening, her shiny Tesla sat dead in her driveway, tow truck hauling it away as neighbors whispered. Her empire of intimidation crumbled overnight, all because she couldn't resist stealing a few amps. Within weeks, Patricia was removed from the HOA board and fined thousands for meter tampering and fraud. The community elected Tom as interim president, enforcing fair rules and transparency. I replaced my charger, this time locked and monitored, not out of spite, but peace of mind. Some neighbors thanked me for standing up to her. Others learned where not to plug in. As I watched the sunset glint off my restored EV charger, I smiled. Karma doesn't need to knock when it's electric. Sometimes it just hums quietly and fries the right battery.